Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to go over SoFi Financial. I've been posting about this particular equity for quite some time, and I would highly suggest you go rewatch the last few videos because our thesis has revealed itself and starting to move as it should. So this is a trade that my business partner has put on. This is his decision, but I manage it. And I was in agreement of managing this position because of the thesis that we have stated in the past. And basically, now that we're in the driver's seat, we have to see when should we sell, right? And the one thing I'm noticing with SoFi is it is incredibly strong, right? Like massively strong. It hasn't even stopped for a minute, right? So I think that SoFi will have some pullbacks, right? And when they do, there should very likely be a strong bounce, which can be played off for somewhat of a swing trade. If you'd like to play like within the investment, maybe a separate account to keep things organized, I would suggest, not financial advice or suggestions. And basically, the question is, how high can SoFi go? And this is really the first time that I'm pulling out the chart and asking this question. And I'm going to do it on this video here, right? So basically, if we look at the technicals, right, there are some pretty clear levels, right? 16 to 25, right? If we can break above 16, then this is very likely going to try 25 so long that the bigger landscape holds up, right? So what I mean by the bigger landscape, I mean, you got to watch the fintech names. You got to watch Affirm. You got to watch Upstart. You got to watch Lending Club. You got to watch the banks. You also got to keep an eye on the banks, right? Is there somewhat of a rotation out of these large banks? And if there is, then maybe people who want to still own banks aren't owning, right? You could say the legacy banks. So basically, is this disruptive tech actually disrupting in a massive way? And is there a shift of capital? I mean, I think so, right? If you look at SoFi, you're definitely seeing the numbers show and the people moving as this is what they are positioned and actually going after, is creating the value so that they are the leading position, right? Because essentially, if you're creating value, the market will come to you. And who's the market? The people are the market for a bank, right? So I think SoFi should consolidate here before trying to break out. Obviously, this can get absolutely insane if markets are wild next few weeks going into the end of the year, right? It's not even December yet, and I know people are going to start saying Santa Claus rally. It's said every year for the last fucking 7 years I've been in front of the screens, right? So basically, let's see. All I'm saying is we started this entire position with 17,000 shares. We locked some in, which is fine. Maybe we locked in too much, close to the $12 range. But as I've mentioned in my past videos, execution is never perfect. You can only try to get as close to it in a non-entirely controlled environment. But anyways, SoFi right now, I think makes sense to give the room because this is looking like a truly disruptive tech company. And if we look at a stock that is disruptive, oh shit, Palantir motherfucker wasn't working all day on wasn't working all day. Okay, if we look at these disruptive names, right, what did Robinhood start at? $8, right? now is trading at 40. And obviously you got to look at the market cap to compare, but really just in terms of percentage gains on these companies that were mostly retail focused, because hedge funds weren't buying SoFi when it was down at $7 or $5. So maybe we start to see things change. And if we look at the market cap of SoFi, it is at 17 billion. And if we look at the market cap of Robinhood, it is 33 billion. Right? So obviously you can't compare them like with certainty, but everything is just a gauge. And in my opinion, that's a decent gauge. So to come back, what's the plan for SoFi? The plan for SoFi is be patient, right? Even if the S&P comes down, in my opinion, the IWM will probably show some relative strength. And if it does, then on a second leg, if both of these indices start to make a move higher or even a bounce, I think smaller to mid cap companies is where you want to be.